Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I am your host, DBoss, and I just want to wish everybody a happy and prosperous new year for 2025 so that we could, all the things that you hope for to do this year, we can do. And I just hope everybody's continuing on with their laughing tips. The laughing tips are, you do 15 minutes or more every day. You could either put something on streaming, call a couple of friends, call somebody. It's good for your soul. It's free, and it's also available, and it's also all ages can do it. So, everybody can just start laughing. Yes, if you're laughing for more than 50 minutes, your stomach's going to start to hurt, but that's okay because you're releasing all those endorphins in your body. So, which is really something that's great to do. I thank the people that have been doing it so far. So I applaud you, and you guys, you just keep on pushing. I'm going to be talking about a few benefits of different things in the meantime. But right now, I'm going to talk to you about. We have a great product that's coming out of Barbados, but it's in Canada and North America available, and it's called the, just one minute, Messiah Rev Coffee. So this coffee you can get, it's very good. You start your morning, you can start your day with Messiah Rev Coffee, and it's a mull, and it's through you can get that through, you can order it through me through Messiah Agriculture, and every time you buy a purchase of this, it goes to the development of Barbados. So this Messiah Rev coffee, we have a lot of different other products which are going to be helping Barbados, but we have this one here, Messiah Rev. Also, if people don't want to get the Messiah Rev coffee, they can get, we have these legacy brand coffees. Now, the legacy brands coffee are people that they have different coffees, and it's very good coffee. It has legacy brands. They have, like, it's Marcus Garvey. You can see on the front there, it has Marcus Garvey there. And this coffee, all the coffee, if you purchase any coffee from this brand coming from Messiah Agriculture, this goes in the Marcus Garvey Legacy Coffee, goes into the development of Jamaica. So there's different coffees for different things, but we're all people from Caribbean all over the world, so people will enjoy getting these kind of coffees. If you don't drink coffee, we also have some teas. We got some maritime teas. We have also, if people like to have hot chocolate, we also have the peppermint tea, and it tastes really good. It tastes like that peppermint patty, but it's all in a cup, and you just have to, and it's instant, so you don't have to be and it's all organic. I'll tell you like this now, it's all organic, and it's fair trade, and you could see and you could taste the difference. So that the peppermint one, and also we have the spicy hot chocolate. So the spicy hot chocolate is not spicy like what you're thinking it's spicy. That's what I thought it was at first too. But it's a really good blend, and it tastes very, very well. So any of these products and more, you can always get them through. You can order through me through Messiah Agriculture, and they're going to be bringing a lot of products here, Barbadian products that you can get here through in Canada and in the US. So if you guys are interested in anything, I'll be doing some episodes on that. But today we got a special person here today, and he's going to tell us about himself, what he did. If you guys don't know him, we're going to get to know him as always, and we're going to find out all the stuff about him. So with no further ado, I introduce to you Akawui. Akawui, hello.
No, can
You're
you?
on mute.
Hi, DBoss.
Akawui. Hi, Akawui.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I was like, oh my gosh, where are you?
I'm here. I'm here.
All right. So, Akawui, welcome here. Everybody here at Real Life Matters, we like to know your cultural background, Akawui, where you come from.
I'm born in Montreal, Canada. My origins are Chilean. From my dad's side, I'm Chilean indigenous, Mapuche
Okay.
nation, and my mom is Chilean. Chilean, just some people have more mixed than others, in families. And yeah, and I was born here in Montreal, and I grew up pretty much always surrounded with indigenous culture through my father doing Andean music from the Andes, and that is really what where I was always surrounded with.
Okay. All right. So when did you knew that you wanted to be a musician? What age and where did you want to, you knew that, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
As a, from a young age, my dad arrived here in 1978 after the Chilean Civil War, and here he started busking, doing music from the Andes, Andean music, panpipes. It was really popular back in really. It's a movement that started in the 70s called La Canción Nueva Canción Popular, and many of those groups were more about socialism. They were more reivindicated all the rights against the injustice, and then many of those groups had to exile to France, Paris, and everything. And my dad, seeing all that, it got inspired him, and he started doing practicing pen pipes, and it landed. He ended up being he ended up being the first one of the first to be, it will be pretty presumptuous to say the first, but one of the first to do Andean music here in Montreal, in Canada,
Okay.
busking in the streets in the metro. So I grew up always playing with him in metros of Montreal, McGill Metro, Berriuka Metro, Quebec. Then I played in Vancouver as a young, but being 14 years old, and I always loved. I remember loved the freedom that music gave me. You know, I don't know
Okay.
why, but it was always freedom expressing, playing Andean panpipes. Yeah.
Okay. So so what instruments do you play? You just said, you mentioned you play the pipes.
Yeah.
Which instruments?
I play many indigenous flute and
Okay.
percussion, conga. I had a big face of Brazilian music, Afro Brazilian music, and so that's pretty much it. But I don't play a conventional like a guitar, piano, bass. I've never
Okay.
I've never played. Um, I play a little bit of charango, which is a little guitar from Peru, Bolivia, Chile, from the Andes. But mainly, my first instruments was a quena, which is a indigenous flute.
Okay. All right. So you sing also, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think I sing. I don't know well, but I do. Yeah, I start
I
I
think I
started
did.
singing. I started singing at the age of professionally. This is the thing. My life had many segments. But
Okay.
around 26 years old, I started singing Afro Brazilian music actually.
Wow.
Yeah, bossa nova, Brazilian songs covers, and and then I really decided that I wanted to be develop more that instruments because singing it's an instrument, and I started taking
Yes.
classes, you know, personal one on one with a singing teacher. A few years, on and off, and it developed that you understand your voice, you understand what you could do with your instrument, and at the same time I started rapping. That's the other thing. I never came
Oh,
back from a rapping background. I was heard listening to rap, growing up here. I loved Latin rap and all the classic Tupac, Wu Tang, and all the classic rap that you grew up. I'm from the was born in the '80s, so
okay.
that was the era of it. But it's something that I took along, and I always develop. I mean, I'm always learning, new flows and new techniques to sing.
Okay. So what do you call yourself? Hip hop, R&B?
Mm.
What do
That's
you call
boss. That's the $1 million question. A friend of mine, a guitar player, said, "You know what? You do hip hop, rock, tribal," and I was like,
Oh,
"Bro, that's what's up. That's what I like to do." So that's what I do.
okay.
That's what I put now in my press kit: hip hop, rock, tribal, because I always been involved with many first indigenous First Nation culture, indigenous,
Okay.
culture from around the world, Mapuche and other nations. And so the album that I launched almost 2 years ago, it's called El Futuro es Tribal, The Future's Tribal. Um,
Okay.
so hip hop, rock, tribal.
Okay. Hip hop rock tribal. All right. And your name, is
My
that your
name,
real name?
it
Akwe.
is Nelson
Okay.
Akawui. Yeah, Akawui is my
Akwe.
middle name, but nobody. Funny thing, I only knew that my name was Nelson around 10 years old. I didn't really know that before because my
Okay.
mom and my dad called me Akawui. Then one day
Akwe.
I looked at my birth certificate and it was like, "What is Nelson?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you're also called Nelson." I was like, "Well, Akawui,
So what does it mean? So what does your name
ah,
mean?
it means according to my father, he heard it. He invented that name, or he heard it in a radio song in the '80s, and he said, and he heard it was an indigenous song, and he heard the word Akawi in it. And he said, "Oh, if whenever I heard if I have a son, I will name him Akawi." Years later
Oh,
pass, and I have a friend who's Maya, and she grew up with Six Nation, First Nation from Six Nation territory, and an elder, and she asked an elder from Six Nation. She said, "You know what Akawi means? It seems to me that probably means Akawinzi." And I was like, and she said, "Akawinzi, wait for this. It means masculine energy of Earth, or masculine strength from Earth." I was like, "Wow, that I like that too." So I kept it in my. That's what probably comes from. There's also a Lebanese cheese called Akawi,
oh,
so
Akwe.
it's less prestigious.
Oh, okay.
But my father took it from an indigenous song.
Okay.
Yeah,
So who have you performed with, or your
like
performances? Have you opened for anybody?
yeah,
Yes.
someone big. Yeah, actually opened for an artist called Camaro
Okay.
three weeks ago.
Oh,
This Yeah, 3 weeks ago at the M Telus in Montreal. They were looking for a band to open, and yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty cool. This guy did like a big hit worldwide, "Fam Like You," and I was actually grew up listening to his song. I mean, in the like 20 years ago. So, but I've traveled many places doing showcases. Spain last year for WOMEX, which is like the biggest world music conference.
okay.
I went to Colombia this year, June, twice. I recently came back from Colombia in November, no, before October. I went to play in the Amazon.
Oh,
That was pretty cool. Yeah, and yeah, Chile. I've performed a few times in Chile, and always bring my music career towards Latin America as
okay.
well. Really pushing for that. You were talking about coffee, and I'm a coffee lover. I need to know what.
Oh, well, you got to get some of this kind,
Mhm.
the Messiah Rev. You can percolate it at home, and it's very good.
I love it. I'm like a coffee maniac. Still my
Well, you'll
third.
like this.
I'm so good. I'm not shaking it.
Okay, you're not. You're not. All right. So, if you had an opportunity to do a collaboration with anybody that you haven't already, which three would you want to?
Three. I admire Stromae, a guy. Stromae is a Belgian singer.
Okay.
Um, I admire Residente from Puerto Rico
Okay.
and Damien Marley. Love Damien Marley.
Woo!
Love Damien Marley. He
Okay,
has
two women. Two women. You don't get these guys.
two women that
Women, yeah.
I forgot. Well, it's because I love. I think she's really like a great. What's her name? Jessie J. She's a crazy
Just
singer. Jessie J. I
mhm.
follow her on Instagram. She's crazy.
Okay.
And this new girl is called. She's new, but she's super original. Nati Peluso from Argentina.
Wow.
Amazing. Really good. Yeah.
So, have you done um anything with soca, calypso, reggae? Have you done
Um,
stuff?
I went to Trinidad Tobago in a music.
Wow.
Yeah, in a music residency for the 150th of Canada. I was I'm a part of a powwow drumming group from First Nation drumming. I was invited to be a part of it through a collaboration of a song, and they said, "Hey, you have indigenous blood. You know, it's all one, and we like your vibe. Would you like to be a part of the drumming group?" And I was like honored by it. It's like hell yeah. So for in 2015, as I started being part of First Nation powwow drumming group, and we got invited to Trinidad Tobago to
Wow.
fusion with steel pan and a song over there. We were like the honor guest for the 150th, so I got that occasion too. And I always knew about soca, and but before soca, I was a big fan of Afro Brazilian music, and I had like an
Yes.
ashe. I had like a ashe music. Ashe music is something that is developed in Bahia, Salvador, Bahia, which has a lot of Caribbean influence. And the carnival, I think the biggest carnival in the world, street, is in Salvador, Bahia. It's
Wow.
4 or 5 days, and I was
4
like,
or 5 days.
yeah, 4 or 5 days, and there's like 2 millions of people that from in the streets, and it's in the street. It's in the stadium, so that's what I loved about it. It's
Okay.
and so I always loved. I love that hype of percussion, Afro percussion. So and I was a little bit familiar with soca and with all those upbeat,
Yeah.
percussion because
Jumping, jumping.
oh no, a big lover. But I know I've never collaborated with an artist, but yes, with a music producer who does a lot of soca. His name is Derek Brin, and now we're
Okay.
actually working on. He's from Toronto. He's from Trinidad, and now we're
Okay.
working on a song together. Um,
That's good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I also try to encourage you guys because every year they got to come out with, with new songs. The artists coming from everywhere. For the Caribbean, they got to come out with at least 2 or 3 hits, and it has to be a hit. So
It has.
sometimes when you get that opportunity, like Akawui, you get an opportunity, you be like, oh my gosh, these guys got to be, you got to be constantly thinking, your
Yeah,
mind's got to be going. And when you're got these hits going, then you got to thinking of the other ones to prepare for next year.
yeah.
So it's a
Admiral,
lot of work.
I saw the show of Admiral T in
Yes,
Energy through the air. He came to Nuit d'Afrique. Crazy.
yeah. Those guys, I said, you got to salute them because then they got to perform, they got to be dancing. I mean, not even like dancing, they got to be really up.
Yeah,
I said to some of them, how do you guys keep up? They go,
it's a spirit that is
it's the,
possessed.
it's the drinking. They
Yeah.
got to drink something. Well, and then they just keep going because they're singing on there for hours. You know what I mean?
Carnival is the same thing, huh? One
Yeah,
one show in Carnival in Brazil, it's 5 hours, 4 hours, because the truck, and the whole, and they do a stop, but it's a 4 hour show, and next day they perform again.
they got to do it
They could
again.
per- they could perform 3 days in a row, one day off, and it's crazy.
Oh, so do you write your own music?
Yes, I do. I write my music, my lyrics,
All
the
right.
music, the
So where do you go
arrangement.
to do that? Do you do that outside, walking down the road, in the studio,
Mm,
having a drink? I guess you
no,
like to drink coffee.
yeah, it comes first is an idea. Usually it's an idea that visual. I have, oh, I like the subject, I like the idea, and then I start. But usually it's wa- doing laundry, taking a bath,
Oh my
doing
God, taking a
something,
bath. That's the
walking.
first time I heard that one. Taking a
Yeah,
bath.
and all those activities that are not, that keep your, apparently, your, that activates another part of your brain,
Mhm.
so you're actually disconnected, and that's where creativity comes in. Sometimes I'm reading a book, and I have an idea comes in, like, oh, because yeah.
Okay. So what would you that you know now, and you've been doing your business for a while, that you wish you knew back then in your career?
To believe in yourself more,
Okay.
like go and take yourself seriously, I mean, not being
Yeah,
not,
you're not serious, but
not look big, like from from the top, like right away.
Okay.
You don't know if you're gonna do
Yeah.
this, treat yourself like a professional, which I
Hmm.
think I've been doing it, but I would have probably pushed it more.
Pushed out more
Yeah,
when you first started, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Well,
you
they had one
doubt.
guy. They had one guy that interviewed, and he said that I wish I wasn't so hard headed. I didn't listen.
Well, sometimes it's good, you know. Sometimes you have good ideas, and people trying to dig you
Yeah.
out, and people that keep they keep
Hmm.
they hold their and that's what actually is gonna work.
That's right. Okay. So tell us about this song here. Akawui, Akawui. El
El
Pueblo
pueblo
Unido.
unido, el
Yes.
pueblo unido jamás será vencido. It's my first cover, to be honest,
Okay.
and I wanted to do it. It's a song. Have you ever heard the riot chant? The people united will never be defeated. The people united, you know that
Maybe.
that chant is usually when there's protests about something. Um, that is actually come from Chile, from a band called Inti Quilapayún,
Okay.
and it was done in 1973. And it's sang in French. Some people I've heard it in English, and I've heard it in Farsi, um, and it meant a lot to me because even though I was born in Canada, I've traveled to Chile all my whole life since I'm five, and being part of the folklorical music movement and having my indigenous roots and the background of my father and mother, why they had to come here. So that is part of my history too, you know.
Okay.
And and that chant is powerful. Like the words of that of that song is incredible. And I wanted to redo it, and nobody ever have done it a cover of that song. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's crazy. And I was looking on the internet, and nobody's done that. No one has done it. And I did a music video in a one take, which
Wow.
I wanted to, with everything that is happening around the world, with all the wars, you know, and I wanted to put people from many ethnicities, because that's what also, it's not about Chilean, it's about everyone. And usually the people are the one that suffer. It's never the politicians, it's never the guy with the big money. It's always the people underneath that are suffering the consequences, you know?
Okay.
So I really
So
wanted to be and prove my point.
okay. So Aka, we were gonna hear this, so you could either do whatever you want. It's your song. It's your time. All right. Here we go.
Let's get it.
Hmm.
De Salvador Allende.
De pie, cantar, que vamos a triunfar. Avanzan ya banderas de unidad y tú vendrás marchando junto a mí y así verás tu canto y tu bandera florecer, la luz de un rojo amanecer anuncia ya la vida que vendrá. De pie, luchar, el pueblo va a triunfar, será mejor la vida que vendrá a conquistar nuestra felicidad y en un clamor mil voces de combate se alzarán, dirán canción de libertad, con decisión la patria vencerá. Y ahora el pueblo que se alza en la lucha, con voz de gigante, gritando adelante. Patria está forjando la unidad de norte a sur, se movilizará desde el salar ardiente y mineral al bosque austral, unidos en la lucha y el trabajo irán, la patria cubrirán, su paso ya anuncia el porvenir, de pie canta.
Wow, that's really good.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. So wow, and I like how it goes down and then it comes up with that, like, it's like everybody get up and do something now.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the original version is completely different. It's
Okay,
powerful. Every time, sometimes I hear it because we had our civil war is September 11th, 73. So for Chilean people, September 11 means another thing. And every
okay,
time it's around those dates, we everybody started listening to those songs for commemorating those dates. You know what happened to my mom and father. And sometimes I cry when I hear the. But now I wanted to do a new version, and it's really well done. People in Chile really appreciate it. I had like only love coming from. It's like, wow, it's done because when you have an emblematic song like that and you want to do a cover, you better come up with something strong, or else just don't do the cover.
okay. All right. So tell us about Nueva Era.
Nueva Era. It's also about political statement. But I mean, humanism statement. I think everything happened when it was hashtag Me Too, when it was Black Lives Matter, LGBT cases, and all those things that were happening. Indigenous Mapuche, indigenous people also asking for their land. It was land back here, um, and uh, so I did a song right before it was right before COVID, right? It was right before COVID, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And yeah, and it talks about that. It talks about people are fed up. There's a new generation that,
They're fed up now.
oh yeah, yeah, people are fed up with racism and all the
Yes.
ism. So that's what pretty much. And there's a featuring. I did two version, one with Naskapi, with Violent Ground, their indigenous rap group from Naskapi Nation, and I did another version featuring MC Miarai, who's a Mapuche rapper.
Okay. All right. So let's hear this one. Here we go.
And that's a Inuit throat singer.
La gente chana aguanta chango, sonó la alarma. K.O. K.O. La injusticia del siglo serán reveladas. La educación es arma, el pueblo no te engaña. Súmate entonces a esta noble batalla. Vamos creciendo con fuerza, ni derecha ni de izquierda. Aquí se sude raza, llegó la nueva era. El puño en alto por las calles, vamos caminando la gente de la tierra hoy. Toma las riendas. Quisieron humillarnos, enterrarnos, aplastarnos. Oye, mira qué alegría. Éramos semilla. Tu mente racional, matar, dividir y conquistar. Como el patriarcado, eso pasó de moda. Robarle al pobre pa' tu bolsillo poder llenar. Déjame decirte que, no te haces nada. La ñuque Mapu se defiende como hueso santo. Y vete a la mierda con tu puto Monsanto. I know the hardest stepping and never been believing for the trying to be better and how my people but don't get negative.
Wow, this one sounds like reggaeton a little bit.
Yeah, it's hip hop. Yeah, I do. It's before I used to say I do urban music, but urban music now has been so much about reggaeton. People are like it's not reggaeton. What you just like that's a way it's hip hop, it's rock because there's always have a lot of that guitar presence,
Okay.
electric guitar.
Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That sounds good. All right. So tell us about this one here with Elisa
Avendano
Avendano.
Curaqueo, que suena el
Okay,
cool cool, que suena el cool cool. It's cool cool. It's the horn. It's a bull horn that is played by a huerquen, which by the messenger of the communities in the Mapuche nation tradition, indigenous nation, and and I wanted to really put in glamorous, indigenizing our,
okay.
the beautiful things that Mapuche culture has, like the earrings, the philosophy, the cosmology, all those things that is also really part of Chilean culture as well. Like this hat that I'm wearing right now, it's my clothing brand. I started a urban indigenous clothing brand in 2015,
Wow.
and this symbol here is a representative of Venus in Mapuche sacred cosmology, and in the Chilean flag, there's a lot of discrimination from Chile towards Mapuche, but the Chilean flag has a star, but it was borrowed and it was inspired by this star. You know how much influence Mapuche culture has in Chile, you know, because at the beginning, who fought with the Chilean uh, government like 400 years ago? The indigenous Mapuche people. So I wanted to put that in value and not tell the story as a victim, but as empowering your people. So that's what I rap about that. And I put it's weird because you're not gonna hear rapping about your earrings or about things like that. Usually, rapping is gonna be more about more uh, rage and more aggressive. And it features in the traditional elder singer. There's only five elder singers Mapuche, and she's one of them who sings only in Mapuche Dungun, Mapuzungun, the Mapuche language, and it's really popish. And we recorded the music video in Mapu with kids, and the kids also chant the chorus that says Mapuche tami bueno tati, means the Mapuche is your friend. Because unfortunately
Okay.
in Chile, the Mapuche has a bad reputation of being terrorist or being
Oh
lazy
my
or
God.
being violent. So there's a lot of, I'm always trying to put some uh, some information in the music that I do.
Okay. So here we go. We're gonna hear this one.
Gente bella, color canela, resiliente, alegre, cual Mapu presente, Mapuche Tainchi, siempre en el aguante. Nuestra presencia no se debate. Always looking fly con mis aros chaguay, joyas de plata, pratería ancestral. Siempre conectado con lo celestial. Chantumay por mi kimon, mi papay. Eso en el bulbul, 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 que suene, que suene, que suene el bulbul. Quede claro, somos los vikingos del sur. Por el mundo se habla del mapuche con glamour. Pellizca, trompet, troca y cultrún. Por los cuatro vientos se escuchan aún. Y te confieso, de eso me enorgullezco. A brindar progreso como un rezo. En el nombre de mis compellos pura bien. Amén. Eso en el bulbul. 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 Eso en el bulbul.
That one is hot. You're on mute.
thank you, D-Boss. I think everything could be you could give it the popish twist, with a good hook, different how you're gonna put those ingredients in your music, so the sound could be get to other people and get to know something about another culture or another language through that music.
Okay. So what's up next for you?
Oh, many things. Show January 18th, Saturday in Ottawa for at the National Centre National des Arts, National Art Center.
Mhm.
Um, and there's gonna also be a show. I'll be showcasing there for Contacto Tahua on the 17th. But I'm producing a new EP about cover songs about the 70s things. I want to do an album about EP about a project about from songs that I grew up from the 70s, and new collaborations with a Maori rapper, a song that I did called Breath of Fire. But this guy, I met him a few years ago, and he liked the song that I did, and we vibed together, and it's like, let's do this song. So I should, if everything goes well, I should go to New Zealand and redo this song with him.
Ah,
I'm super excited for that. And it's coming this summer, looking for new shows. I should be going to Colombia in May, and Chile if everything goes well after that, and projecting think big.
all right. So are there any shout outs that you want to give? And then I'll allow you, you could say something to your people in your own Spanish in Spanish also.
Well, first, thank you, the Boss Network official,
Oh
for
wow.
having me. Thank you for reaching out, and a
That's a
pleasure to share uh, with all of you. And you can follow me on my social medias, AKAWUI, on Instagram and on YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and subscribe, AKAWUI Music, Akawui Music. Y toda la gente latina que me está escuchando, que sean de Perú, de Chile, de Argentina, de Bolivia, de Paraguay, México. Ojalá estaré pronto en un por ahí compartiendo mi música con ustedes. Me pueden seguir en las redes sociales y que viva la raza. We're just one. Thank you.
Why? All right. Well, you got to come back when you get those other songs and you're working on your EP. You know,
With pleasure.
we
With pleasure.
everybody go and stream the music. You know, you
On
go find him,
Spotify, everywhere, yeah,
make
Apple
the
Music.
comments. You know, that's how they get into the ratings. People, just don't and pay for the streaming. Hello, you know,
Oof. Bandcamp is a blessing for that. Spotify is good. People get to know you, but we don't
yeah,
make money from Spotify. But it's good because people
no,
have access. Oh no, I mean you gotta have even like those big pop artists, like they're right there in the mainstream guys. They don't even make a lot of money because you need a lot of stream to make good living from Spotify. But it's
okay,
a good tool to promote
to
your,
get it
your, your
out
song,
there.
to get it out there. It's a great tool for that. But Bandcamp and Spotify, I'm all there. And if there are probably gonna be many festivals around Canada, and if I'm there, come in and vibe together because the show is intense. That's something I'm really proud of. Is the music. I think I'm way better live than than my songs. Oh yeah. That's 100%, 100%. I have like deadly musicians with me. Like my drummer is Donaldo Bull. He's from Ivory Coast. Adam Goulet, a guitar player from North Bay, Ontario, and Javitian Dextraz at the bass. Um, and we've been together for a few years, and they're friends, and it's fire. And
All right.
we'll go toe to toe with any other band from
Uh-uh.
up there. That's
You hear
that's how I
people
see it.
putting the
We'll go
challenge,
toe to
putting
toe.
the challenge out there.
Lollapalooza, any band, bring it on.
Bring it. You hear Akawui said,
The other thing is, I was a professional mixed martial arts fighter when I was 19 to 22.
what?
Yeah, that's my other segment in life. So I have this mentality of like, let's go.
Let's go. Bring it, bring it, bring it.
Bring it. Let's get it.
All right, it's been a pleasure,
D
Akawui.
Boss, thank you very much. Blessings to you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy new year to you too, everybody, and happy new year to the viewers tonight. So good night and goodbye.
Bendiciones. Thank you.